Hi everybody, I'm back with another Normandy related video. You could basically say the next installment in the Normandy series, because I've kind of done one for every single single they've dropped off Dark and Beautiful Secrets. And so far, honestly, I've just loved every single song they put out. Jericho was a special one because I'd heard that one live before, and just like getting the studio version with the really cool video was something different. Then Holy Water, that song is my favorite song of 2020. I have to say it hands down. I was completely blown away by it. I still listen to it so much. I can't even describe what it is about that song, but it completely captivated me. And the video, the choreography, dance, everything is so amazing. And then Atmosphere being like this track that really gets you thinking, that really gets you reflecting, really hits hard, and it hit hard for a lot of people. So getting Babylon now is super exciting, but also kind of nerve-wracking because this one is going to be a big track off the album, I feel like. I think it's even the opening track, and it was the last one they wrote for the album, if I'm not mistaken. It's also Philip's favorite one, so I'm just gonna have like an extra critical eye on this one, and I'm just really excited to finally get to listen to it and watch the video, so yeah, enjoy! Ooh, like the art. What? I like the idea. I feel like it's almost as if they're representing like the different rooms, like isolated, everyone in their own little space. Oh, animation. Scribble animation. Big up Alice in Wonderland vibes. Oh my god, Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi is dying, don't die. Wi-Fi, don't die, don't die, no. Wi-Fi, you can do it. Wi-Fi, you can do this, please. This is so cool. Oh. This is... so catchy. Once again, such a catchy melody, such a catchy chorus, or pre-chorus, or post-chorus, I don't even know. Gonna look at the lyrics in a second. Oh, that's a neat one. Okay. Next room. Oh. What a video! Oh, this is fun. This was so fun. Okay. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, Normandy have given me quite the challenge here because there is literally so much to unpack here. I don't know, maybe it's not even that like intricately thought out and I'm just kind of going off the rails like crazy here, but I found so much in this song lyrically and then also like visually. So I'm just gonna like try and explain what I think this song means. So let's just take it one by one. Also with the first statement, 2 half-truths don't make one truth. What I'm thinking this means is because we have these two characters here that go off into different rooms and experience very different things. Like they start at the same point, go off different directions, experience very different things, probably. I mean, we only follow one of them. And then they come together again and maybe talk about what they experienced, what they saw, and everyone has like half of the truth, or like part of what they experienced is right, but the other might not share that, so it doesn't make one complete truth, if that makes sense. But I'm not 100% sure, honestly, how this quote ties in, but maybe I'll have some sort of epiphany moment while rewatching this. So let's just start this now. Also, I really like the scribble effect and like the dripping kind of font. What I really appreciate about Normandie, sorry, I have to say this before actually getting into the review, is that they just try a lot of stuff. They give you a lot of different styles with all their music videos, and I think that's really cool because it just makes every single so unique. So with the room thing here, what I'm thinking is this gives me this has two kind of connotations for me. One of them is Alice in Wonderland, which I'm going to be talking about in a second because of the rabbit hole thing. But also just like every single band member in their respective rooms also brings in this whole idea of the world right now. Everyone's in isolation, everyone's in their kind of place and experiencing the world in their very own way. With the whole following or falling out, that one is really interesting because I think it kind of ties in with the rabbit hole that keeps on being repeated. Because in Alice in Wonderland, I'm pretty sure like all of you watching this will know the story of Alice in Wonderland. There's the white rabbit, obviously, which Alice decides to follow. Like, he's kind of her motivation to enter that world. Like, she follows him down the rabbit hole. Verse 1 is kind of like this expression of, it really doesn't matter right now, you're just kind of living every day away. It doesn't matter if you're trying to do your best, or if you're just wasting your time just passes. It's just a state of being like meh in a way. And with what I think is really interesting, we dig so deep, we have gone through the bottom, is there's almost this moment of trying to dig deep within yourself to find something, and you kind of scraping the bottom but still not really finding anything there. Or also this aspect of you sinking so low that you can't go any lower. And then what's interesting with the fast asleep, we're awakening Sodom. Just because I know that Normandy have quite a few like religious analogies or like references in their music. Sodom and Gomorrah, I hope I pronounce the cities right, they are like part of the book of Genesis. They're actually 2 of 5 cities, if I'm not mistaken. And they're like on this plain, and this plain was compared to Garden Eden. But these cities kind of fell prey to egoism, to sin, and they were then burned down by the wrath of God for all their sins to be cleansed. And this is kind of, I feel like this ties in with you, or like humanity sinking so low, getting to this point where like fast asleep we don't even realize what kind of humans have come to, or what we've personally come to, and then we're awakening Sodom in a way of being like awakening this place that was like used to be so nice, awakening that in sin, and kind of drawing the wrath of the gods onto us, if that makes any sort of sense. So yeah, that's kind of what I got from that. And this kind of like, we're building up, enough isn't good enough. That's kind of a big of like a human issue. We just always want more, we want the thing, and we strive for it so much, and we try so hard and want to climb higher, bigger, better, faster, that eventually we will crash and we will fall down. But at the same time, there's like kind of this question of, is it maybe worth taking the risk? But something is better than nothing at all. So being like, okay, we do want something, we do want to get somewhere. Here, I want to stop it here real quick with the chorus. So down we go, the rabbit hole. That's where the rabbit that I mentioned earlier kind of ties in. It's this moment of deciding, are you going to follow the rabbit, are you not going to follow the rabbit, into like this crazy fantasy world. And what I think is interesting, because here like they're combining the scribble effect with the sky, and like these arms coming out of the door that seem to be calling her to Babylon is so fitting, because Babylon, under the Amorites, I think that's how you pronounce them, Babylon actually became like the religious epicenter. It became like the sacred city of the whole Babylonian region. So it's kind of like this divine aspect of her being called into that world. And what I also just really like is that the woman, she looks a little bit like a modern Alice, because we all know like Alice in Wonderland with like her blonde hair, her locks like with a little bow. And she kind of seems like the millennial interpretation of that, if that makes sense, with like the sneakers and everything. So that's a little nod there.
Are you following or falling out?
The hands calling her. And here we have like the first room in one of many. And I think this one is probably my favorite, just because everything's like wrapped into aluminium foil. There we go. Aluminium foil. There we go. And oh, that must have been so much effort. It almost seems like a dull mirror in a way. It's really cool though. And here obviously they're kind of not interacting with her, so she is kind of in their world, but then she's not. The worlds, in a way, they clash, they don't mesh. This is such a cool transition also with the little loop. They call it the corona loop, because it's like with the coughing and the breathing, and it's such a unique sound. I don't think I've ever heard that anywhere, and it's so cool as a transition, as like everything's kind of distorting, getting out of perspective. There's like this kind of like, please get me out of here, like what is this world, trying to blend it all out. And once again it ties into this world we're living right now, because it also seems so surreal. And this is also kind of cool, because like playing with the sizes, Alice in Wonderland sometimes goes big, but then she's here twice. She's once small, once big, and it's also kind of, she's watched in a way by herself. And this is kind of like her trying to exit this world, and it ties in the live action with like the animation, her pulling that out, the light turning off, but then like the scribbles moving about. And what's really neat about this one is major shout out to Alice in Wonderland once again, because Alice in Wonderland is often seen as like a parody of the Victorian age, and like the gentleman with the hat are kind of a little bit of a nod to that. Then we have like the clock in the background, so like the whole aspect of time that was tied to Alice in Wonderland, where time is also skewed a little bit. And then it also kind of feels like it's picking up the idea of entertainment, that's kind of almost this background thing, because look at Håkan standing there like with the guitar. Obviously he's just like being very chill about it, so it's like Anton and like Philip standing there with his glass of wine, almost indifferent, just enjoying it. It's like this little evening party that are just like, they're very chill, very relaxed, and it's kind of a parody of what entertainment sometimes means in today's age. It's kind of like this background thing that's just going on. And he's pointing like to the exit, being like, this is how you exit, go leave. Exit, calling to her like, are you following or falling out? And here, let's first of all take apart the shot. So when I saw this first, I was like, big Jericho vibes, because at Jericho, there's also the scene where they're covered in plastic. So that's kind of a nod to Jericho there. Then here the light is dimmed, the scene from before is kind of changed. It's almost as if like they all seem like they're wax figures in this kind of room of the world, almost as if it's like this exhibition, but you can't like look at them live because they need to be, like I said, need to be preserved. And then let's quickly look at the lyrics for the bridge, because the bridge is also really cool. We got our eyes wide shut, the first lyric in the bridge, it kind of juxtaposes expectations, or it plays with imagery a lot, because you got eyes wide shut. You would say eyes wide open, but the eyes are wide shut, as in you see what's happening, but you don't want to see it. At least that's how I understand it. And here it like picks up the intensity. Also the Ingus rune just went across the screen, which was such a nice nod. And here she just like, she runs and runs and runs and runs, and she wants out, she wants in, and it's kind of this, you want something, you want to get somewhere, you want out of somewhere, and it feels like you're just going in loops and in circles because she runs, comes through here. Also, this is kind of cool. Like I love the little shredded aluminum on like his head. It's just funny. And here she's just going round and round and round, trying to get out. Sense of panic, being caught. It almost feels as if she's like lost too much in that imagination, to the point where she's like, oh my god, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this? You've lost touch with reality so much that it almost drives you into a frenzy. And here you can see they've both gone on like a journey, and then they are reuniting in the room they started out with. Wow, cool. Oh, I think it's actually, now they switched the messages, because I think in the beginning she said wow and he said cool, now she says cool and he says wow. So that's like this idea with the two perspectives, which is so interesting. Wait, let me check that. Let me double check that. La, 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 la. Yes, yes. See, she says wow, he says cool, now she says cool and he says wow. That is so freaking smart. This video is so well framed, like when it comes to the storyline. And yeah, geez, oh my god, what the hell? Honestly, this song was crazy. The music video was crazy. There is like so much in here, from Alice in Wonderland over Babylon, and like all the religious connotations that it has, like Babylon, the great mysterious empire that went through so many hands, had so many highs, and then it always got pushed to the point where it like went into the ashes, and then it was reborn, and then it faded away into the ashes again. And it almost in a way feels like not what's happening to our world, because I don't think that would be right to say that, but our world has been striving so much to become this grander version of itself. Everyone's been so focused on like their own successes and themselves, that this whole COVID thing that happened just gave us a big halt, and has, I'm sure there's been good that has brought with it, as much as I really do not enjoy these times and not being able to see people. But there is, in a way, mindset shifts that have happened during this time, and it has got a lot of people reflecting. And this is kind of something that I find reflected in the general vibe of this song. And I think this is another absolute masterpiece, and I feel like this might be a song that will overtake Holy Water for me. And yeah, but we'll see how it sits the next day, so yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one that's watching, that's like commenting, that everything, it really means the world. And stay safe, stay sane, listen to Normandie, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!